Fesco. Quote, I just spoke to a stadium insider. I am told it's looking more and more likely that both the Royals and the Chiefs will be leaving Jackson County. I am told both teams are beyond frustrated with the county at this time. We're blanked, is the quote I was given. We're meaning Jackson County. We're very happy to go to the phone lines right now and be welcomed by Bob Fesco of Fesco in the Morning. Fesco, how realistic is Kansas as a possibility for both pro teams?
Well, I think Kansas is a real possibility right now, C-Dot, and I know there are some folks on the Missouri side of the state line who don't want to hear that, but the conversation that I had today was pretty blunt. I mean, I spelled it out in that tweet that you just read. That's how the conversation started when I picked up the phone today. And so I was like, whoa, okay, this is where we are right now. But, you know, it's really a tenuous situation. We're almost, you know, I would say in the 11th hour right now of trying to keep both of these teams together in Jackson County and still sort of sharing that 3/8 cent sales tax moving forward. But I was told by somebody today that there are people in Jackson County who believe it's time for Kansas to start picking up the tab. And so if they go to Kansas, they go to Kansas. I mean, it's a really divided front right now, C-Dot, when it comes to the folks in Jackson County. And it really all starts with the executive director, Frank White, over there, who, you know, can't seemingly give an answer to anybody about what he believes would be a fair deal between these teams and Jackson County, and frustration is mounting inside both of the organizations.
Bob, how short-sighted I don't know who this person was, but how short-sighted could they be to not acknowledge all the overwhelming benefits that Jackson County gets from hosting the Royals and hosting the Chiefs, and now say it's time for Kansas to pick up on the tab? So now you're willing to lose all of those benefits because Kansas has to pay for some of it now?
Well, and you know what, C-Dot? That's exactly what the conversation was today with me on the phone. They're like, if we lose the Royals and Chiefs in Jackson County, what do we have in Jackson County, right? What's there in Jackson County for people to do? The Royals and Chiefs are big-time tourist attractions. They're big-time money generator. Just think of the 1% earnings tax that every athlete that plays a game at Kauffman Stadium or at Arrowhead Stadium pays back to Kansas City. That's a huge chunk of change that'll be taken right off the city budget. Think about the money that Taylor Swift brings in and the 1% tax she has to pay. Beyonce, Billy Joel, all of these concerts, Kenny Chesney that they have there, Guns N' Roses, whoever these concerts are that have been, you know, at the two stadiums, they're paying that 1% earnings tax as well. And so this could be a potentially devastating loss financially to both Jackson County and Kansas City, Missouri, if both of these teams were to relocate to Kansas. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% going to happen, but it's a lot closer today, C-Dot, than it probably has ever been.
If you had to guess, which of these organizations do you think is more likely to do it? Because I'm with you. It seems very unlikely that Jackson County is going to fumble both of them. They could very easily fumble one of them. That is not beyond the realm of possibility. Which one do you think is more likely to make the move across state lines?
Well, for me, I still think it's the Chiefs because of what their stadium is all about. Put it out in the middle of nowhere, build the parking lot around it, build Chiefs Kingdom around it. I think football is meant to be right where it is right now. Football, to me, is not a downtown sport. I've been to some downtown football stadiums back in the day. St. Louis used to have an NFL team. In fact, they lost two because they suck so bad. But you're tailgating in a parking garage. That's terrible. I've tailgated in Baltimore before, underneath an overpass as you're walking into a game. That's not fun. So I've always maintained football belongs where there's parking lot, where the tailgating, and all that can happen. I still believe baseball belongs downtown, and I've been to a lot of baseball stadiums over the years. Some of the best I've been to are downtown. But if the Royals continue to talk about Atlanta and they continue to talk about the battery that the Atlanta Braves built, that's the best baseball experience I've ever had. That could seemingly go out in Johnson County or Wyandotte County or somewhere on the Kansas side of the state line. But I would think, and maybe it's just me hoping, I really want that baseball team to stay downtown in Jackson County because I think it's the perfect Atlanta. And they continue to talk about the battery that the Atlanta Braves built. That's the best baseball experience I've ever had. That could seemingly go out in Johnson County or Wyandotte County or somewhere on the Kansas side of the state line. But I would think, and maybe it's just me hoping, I really weigh with the county. Each team just wants the 3/8 cent sales tax extended. That's all they're asking for. They're not asking for new money, quote unquote new money. It's already money that's being paid out. And so I think the frustration lies in is that Frank White, who kind of started this whole thing, is not really telling anybody what they want and what would be considered a fair deal for the county and for these two teams. And I think the other thing is that, you know, this should have been something, I don't want to say rubber stamp, but these two franchises are so vital to the economy of Jackson County, Missouri, that you would have thought they would have agreed just to kind of move this thing forward. Because, again, as John Sherman puts in $1 billion+ of his own money into this project, which, again, is just an insanely rare amount to see an owner do something like that. All they're asking for is an extension of the 3/8 sales tax, and they can't seemingly get it. In fact, I was told there was a recent meeting that was supposed to take place between Jackson County, the Royals, and the Chiefs.
I think the Royals belong downtown. As we've talked about in this podcast, the Chiefs should be at Arrowhead. Don't get me wrong, I love Kauffman Stadium, but it should be downtown. It's time to move on now. The Chiefs are a championship, and they belong in Missouri. Right now, they're the best team in the NFL in the last 5 years. They belong in Kansas City, Missouri, not in Kansas City, Kansas, or Johnson County. Royals or Chiefs, you don't want them to become the St. Louis Rams or the Oakland A's or the LA Chargers. Now, it's better for Kansas City Royals to move to Kansas City, Kansas, than it would be to move. We can't completely lose them. Yes, you're probably not going to lose a state other than Kansas, but you leave the door open and risk a small chance of them moving not across the street, but out of state and out of Kansas City. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want to become the St. Louis Rams, do we? I don't think we do. We also don't want to become the Oakland Athletics or the Kansas City Athletics. The Chiefs have been dominant team in Kansas City, and I ask you this one question. Don't you want to be Kansas City Chiefs, not the Rams or the A's or anybody else that moves for that matter? That's Sam Vaughn Smack. What thankful means to me, according to the website listed, thankful means you are very happy and relieved to have something, or that something has happened most of the time in your life. I am thankful for having a job, as an example. Thankfulness means to me something that is important to you. For example, I am thankful that we have water and heat and air conditioning. I am thankful that Bo can be my pet therapy. I love petting him. I am also thankful for Amy being the kindest person I have ever met. Both Amy and me struggle our own thing, but no matter what, we're able to communicate about how we feel, and that is an important thing in a relationship. Here's Amy.
Now it's my turn.
Let's hear it. Where's the speech?
Okay.
Pull it out.
I'm thankful that I'm not in the hospital this year.
Yay!
I'm thankful that I've been slowly getting back to normal. These past 7 months have been really special because I've met somebody named Sam, and he's been really great. And I'm thankful for my family and Max, and just thankful to be here and not in the hospital.
Yay!
Yay.